Formatting the Works Cited page according to MLA guidelines is fairly simple if you understand how to format an overall MLA research paper. If you're unfamiliar with the basic rules of MLA format for the research paper, check tutorial number 1 for a discussion of these rules and samples. If you do understand these rules, then formatting the Works Cited page should be simple. But let's review some of the rules that both the overall research paper and the Works Cited page share. First of all, both are double-spaced entirely. No triple spacing and no single spacing. Secondly, both follow 1-inch margins all around, top, bottom, left, and right. Thirdly, no extra spaces are included between entries, just as no extra spaces are included between paragraphs in the regular text. If you are using Microsoft Word 2007 or later, and the after spacing is automatically creating an extra 10-point space after each paragraph, you'll want to go in and change this setting. Review MLA tutorial number 1 for more details on how. Both include a header. The header is the last name of the author in the top right-hand corner, followed by the page number. The Works Cited page, however, does not include a heading. The heading is the 4-line information at the first page of the MLA research paper. Do not include this on any page besides the first. Both use a standard font and size, usually Times New Roman 12-point font. However, any standard font and size will work just fine. Make sure that you're being consistent. Use the same font and size for the Works Cited page as you use for the rest of the paper. Finally, center the title of the Works Cited page. Do not bold it, do not underline it, do not italicize it, and do not raise the font size. Let's take a look at a standard MLA Works Cited page. It looks like this. Remember, every time you construct a paper like this, until you're fully confident with its rules, compare your paper with a sample like this. If your paper looks fairly similar to this, you're on the right track. Just double check your settings and you should be fine. Let's talk about the qualities of the Works Cited page here. First of all, the title, as you can see, is centered, not bolded, no extra space after it. And it is Works Cited. Not bibliography, not citations, not endnotes, just Works Cited. Secondly, you'll notice that the entire page includes entries that are hanging indented. Hanging indentation is the reverse of regular indentation. Regular indentation occurs when the first line is indented and every subsequent line is flush with the left margin. In hanging indentation, the first line is flush and every other line is indented. Let's take a look at that. You can see here that the first line of the health consequences is not indented. It's pulled out to the left, flush with the margin. Every other line, the second one beginning with general, third beginning with department, is indented. And if the entry continued on for 4 more lines, those 4 more lines would be indented just as the first one was. You can see that this hanging indentation follows for the entire page. Every entry is hanging indented, and you can easily tell which entry is which because of the hanging indentation. Now you may ask why we use something like this instead of just using bullets or numbering or some other sort of way of differentiating citations. It has to do with alphabetizing, and do not forget that the entire page must be alphabetized. So from beginning to end you can easily find entries according to alphabetical order. If a reader wishes to find an entry quickly, alphabetizing helps. However, hanging indentation helps even more because the alphabetized word is pulled out to the left for easy viewing. If you want to find a citation in the ends, for instance, out of 100 different Works Cited entries, it is easy to find that citation if the entire page or pages of the Works Cited are hanging indented and alphabetized. If not, it can be cumbersome and frustrating to try to find the entry that you are looking for. Hanging indentation and alphabetization work to help the reader find any entry that he or she wishes to find quickly. And remember, because this is MLA system, you do not bullet or number any of the entries. Bulleting and numbering becomes confusing and prevents the reader from finding the alphabetized word. One last note. You'll notice here with the health consequences of involuntary exposure that it's alphabetized under H, not T. When you're taking a look at titles that include articles as the first word, ignore the article in alphabetizing. This entry would be alphabetized under H, not under T. If you follow these rules, you can create works cited pages that work for any reader to easily find your research and check what you're talking about. Follow these rules often, and you will be able to master works cited page formatting.